This is what a fleece looks like when it's been sitting around for a little bit and you just take it out of its plastic bag. You end up with a plastic bag shaped fleece. I'm going to unpack the fleece and I'm going to talk to you today about packaging the fleece in little tool packets for washing so that you can keep the lock structure as cleanly as possible. Let's see if I can zoom out anymore. No, but I can zoom in more. Alright, I'm going to have to try and get up high. This is a sheep-shaped fleece. All unrolled, all unpacked. This end over here is probably the head. And that end way down there is probably the tail. And you can see where the legs are. Came off cleanly, all in one piece. The best parts of the sheep are going to be the back. This sheep looks pretty good. We could probably go all the way out to the sides. I'm going to start in the middle. I'm going to pluck a couple of locks and I'm going to see how long they are. And then I'm going to create some little packets for washing. Okay, so I've pulled more than a hand's worth of locks from the middle of the back. You can see right there where I pulled them from. They're probably 4 inches long, give or take. And you can see that there's about 2 fingerfuls a piece. You can see where they're nicely kept in lock form on both ends. You can see where the cut end was cut nicely. There's not a lot of felting down at the bottom. So that makes me very happy. That means it's going to be much easier for me to wash this and flick the ends and spin right from the lock. Now I'm going to get some tulle and I'm going to make some packets. Alright, so now I've got my tulle. I've got my locks on the tulle. I'm going to take the tulle and I'm going to fold it over once and twice. So it looks like that. And I'm actually going to cut that out as a square. Or I'm going to cut out that portion. You can see I'll cut right about here, right about here. I don't think I'm going to bother to pin it or to keep it together in any really formal way. Mostly because I'm out of safety pins and I'm a little bit lazy. But also because I'm really going to just put this gently in the water and I'm hoping that it should just stay together because it's already encased in the tulle. Okay, so in the space of probably 20 minutes, maybe less, I now have 6 tulle packets of fleece. You can see in the middle here that this is the tip end, and on the top and the bottom you can see that those are the cut end, just so that you're clear on the that all of the locks are in the same direction. This will make combing much easier if I'm going to comb it. It'll make carding it a lot easier if I'm going to card it. Wool has scales, and you want all the scales to be facing in the same direction for a true worsted prep, which it would be if I were going to comb it. It matters less if I'm going to card it, and if I'm going to flick it, from my own personal satisfaction, I like all of the fibers to go in the same direction. These little packets, all of the locks go in the same direction, top to bottom. The locks are about a finger length or so in diameter, give or take. I tried not to make them much bigger than that. If you make them much bigger than that, they won't wash cleanly. I'm going to take this upstairs and I'm going to weigh it after I take this fleece, which now has a sizable hole in the middle of the back, and roll it back up so that next time I can go about pulling out another 6 packets of locks. Alright, so I've filled this, I would say it's 9 by 14 inch roasting pan with water as hot from my tap as I could get it. And then I put in enough Dawns that the water feels slick on my fingers. Basically, I turn the water blue, and then I put in 2 packets. I'm going to let this soak for about 15 minutes or so, and then I'm going to do another wash and 2 to 3 more rinses depending on what the water looks like. You can already see that the water looks cloudy. A lot of that is the lanolin coming off. This wool was, while not as lanolin-y as a merino or a full cormo, this did have cormo in it. It was a cormo Corriedale cross, so there was certainly quite a lot of lanolin in this fiber. Normally I would use Unicorn Power Scour, however I could not find my bottle of Unicorn Power Scour, which means I might be out. I will have to order more. In this case I used Dawn, standard blue, just like you get in your regular supermarket. I'll be back in 15 minutes to change the water and you'll be able to see what the new water looks like. Alright, this is the wool after a second wash, and you can see that the water is somewhat clearer but still definitely a little murky looking. I think I'm actually going to start rinsing this and see how it looks after the first rinse. I can always go back and do another wash after I do a rinse. After 2 washes and 1 rinse, you can see that the water is pretty clear. Clear enough for my taste. You can see the brown scuff marks of my stove through the bottom of the pan. I'm actually pretty happy with this. I'm gonna do 1 more rinse and see if the water still feels slick when I'm done, because right now it still feels slick. And then we should be done and set them out to dry.